First up, the East. The athletic trainer from the Detroit Pistons is Mike Abdenauer. The assistant coaches from the Washington Wizards are Phil Hubbard, Michael Corey, and Wes Unseld Jr. Selected to his 8th All-Star game but not playing due to injury from the New Jersey Nets, guard Jason Kidd. And the head coach of the East from the Washington Wizards, Eddie Jordan. Now it's time to meet and greet the Ballers, representing the East. A 2-time All-Star at guard from the Detroit Pistons, Chauncey Billups. Playing in his 2nd All-Star game from Detroit, Piston guard Richard Rip Hamilton. Playing in his 1st All-Star game from the Washington Wizards, forward Caron Butler. Making his 8th All-Star game appearance from the New Jersey Nets, forward Vince Carter. Named to his 1st All-Star game from the Atlanta Hawks, guard Joe Johnson. Making his 6th All-Star appearance, Indiana Pacer forward Jermaine O'Neal. And a first-time All-Star from the Orlando Magic, center Dwight Howard. Now to the Vegas stage, the starters coming out of the East to play. In his 3rd All-Star game from the Miami, bringing the elite heat, the East guard you want to see, Dwayne Wade. The guard in his 3rd All-Star game from Washington, Agent Zero, Wizard shooting hero, Gilbert Arenas. Leading vote getter, 3-time All-Star, and the reigning All-Star Game MVP. The world knows the name of Cleveland Cavalier, LeBron James. The forward, making his 2nd All-Star appearance from Toronto, the big Chris Bosh. And selected in his 14th All-Star game from the Miami Heat, the diesel-powered center, none bigger than the deal, Shaquille O'Neal. Ladies and gentlemen, your Eastern Conference All-Stars.
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much love drive a man insane. You broke my will, but what a thrill. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. This is Leah James. I feel good. I knew that I would now. Whoa, I feel good. I knew that I would now. So good, so good. I got you. So good, so good. I got you. Darkest shame, darling, darkest shame. Thank you for all the joy and pain. And though we go on our separate ways, still the memory stays for always. My heart says, darkest shame, darkest shame. I'll be to say, darkest shame.
Now let's meet the Western Conference All-Stars. The athletic trainer from the New Orleans, Oklahoma City Hornets, Terry Koffler. The assistant coaches from the Phoenix Suns are Alvin Gentry, Mark Ivoroni, and Phil Weber. Eight-time All-Star, not playing due to injury. From the Denver Nuggets guard, Allen Iverson. Voted as a starter, but not playing due to injury. Five-time All-Star and center for the Houston Rockets, Yao Ming. Not playing due to injury. A five-time All-Star from the Phoenix Suns, guard Steve Nash. And in his first All-Star appearance, but also not playing due to injury, from the Utah Jazz, forward Carlos Boozer. And the head coach for the West from the Phoenix Suns, Mike D'Antoni. And now, the Ballers who represent the West, appearing in the second time as an NBA All-Star, San Antonio Spurs guard Tony Parker. Making his seventh All-Star appearance from the Seattle Supersonics guard, Ray Allen. Making his first All-Star appearance from the Dallas Mavericks, forward Josh Howard. Four-time All-Star from the Phoenix Suns, forward Sean Marion. First-time All-Star from the Denver Nuggets, forward Carmelo Anthony. Making the second All-Star appearance from the Phoenix Suns, center Amari Stoudemire. First-time All-Star from the Utah Jazz, center Mehmet Okur. Heading to the Vegas stage. This is the best for the West. The nine-time All-Star guard from Los Angeles Lakers, the record breaker, Kobe Bryant. Making his seventh appearance from the Houston Rockets, it's the return of the Mac, guard Tracy McGrady. In his sixth All-Star game, C from the Dallas Mavericks, the 7-foot shooting star at work, Dirk Nowitzki. Nine-time All-Star forward from the San Antonio Spurs. Make some big noise again for the big man, Tim Duncan. And appearing in his 10th All-Star game from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Tonight, the big ticket is on the set. Forward star, Kevin Garnett. Ladies and gentlemen, your Western Conference All-Stars.
Light city, gonna set my soul on fire. I got a whole lot of money that's ready to burn, so get those stakes up higher. There's 1,000 pretty women waiting out there. They're all living a devil may care. I'm just a devil with a love of this share. So viva Las Vegas, viva Las Vegas, viva Viva! Viva Las Vegas! Yeah!
One more round of applause for Wayne Newton, the world-famous Follies, Berserk, Showgirls, and your 2007 NBA All-Stars. At this time, we ask that you please rise for the singing of the national anthems of Canada and the United States. Performing O Canada, please welcome the lead singer of O, from Sodexo, Roxanne Portva.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true we stand on God for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on God for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on God for thee.
Roxanne Porpe from Cirque du Soleil. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as we present the flags of nations, represented by 7 international players participating in the 2007 NBA All-Star Weekend. In honor of American Armed Forces, please remain standing for the presentation of colors by members of the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. And here, to honor the United States of America with the Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome Las Vegas 9-time Entertainer of the Year, the man of many voices, Danny Gans.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, Danny Gans. Thank you.
When you walk the Eastern Conference, Gilbert Arenas of the Wizards averaging just under 29 points a game. He'll be teaming in the backcourt with Dwayne Wade of Miami. Dwayne having his best season statistically. And up front, LeBron James of the Cavaliers, MVP of last year's All-Star game. Chris Bosh of Toronto making his first All-Star start. And Shaquille O'Neal of the Heat, although going through an injury-hit season, will appear in his 14th consecutive All-Star game. In the West, a look at the starters at the guards. Kobe Bryant averaging just under 29, along with 6 assists, 6 rebounds. Tracy McGrady of the Rockets, 2-time NBA scoring champion. On the front line, it's Kevin Garnett of Minnesota, once again leading the NBA in rebounding. Tim Duncan of San Antonio having another superb season. And Dirk Nowitzki of the Dallas Mavericks, early line favorite for MVP honors on a Maverick team that has the league's best record. And right here, let's throw it back over to Mason on the public address for All-Star Weekend. Mason.
I hate
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to center court and welcome three-time NBA All-Star and the 2006 All-Star Game MVP, LeBron James.
On behalf of the Eastern All-Stars and the Western All-Stars, we'd like to thank everybody coming out to the 56th annual NBA All-Star Game. And we'd like to send a special thanks to all you fans in here, because without you guys, this game definitely wouldn't be possible. So you guys strap your seatbelts and enjoy the ride.
LeBron James, the top vote getter for this year's All-Stars. 2.5 million votes garnered by the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron James. The officials tonight, and all three guys working their first All-Star game. Mike Callahan, along with Sean Corbin and Monty McCutcheon. The East has won 35. The West has won 20. The East has won the last two. Last year in Houston, the East victorious, 122-120, with LeBron taking MVP honors. Doug, you have coached the All-Star game. What are you saying to your guys during the course of these last couple of days?
Well, you know what? I think the tendency, Mark, when you start a game like this, these guys want to be so unselfish, and they want to make such spectacular plays. Sometimes the game can get a little sloppy early. So you say, you know what? Just make good passes, the simple pass early in the game, and as the game goes on, and let's try the degree of difficulty things. But you don't want the game to get sloppy.
The degree of difficulty. And usually we have found that it gets to be a real game at the start of the fourth quarter.
You're right, but Doug, there is so much degree of difficulty early on. I remember last year we had 3 or 4 lob passes that sailed into the stands early on. These guys are nervous, they're ready to go, and they want to wow everybody, but they tend to get a little out of character to start the game.
Shaquille O'Neal, Tim Duncan on the opening tip, and it's volleyball by Shaq to LeBron. So James picked up by Garnett. And here's Arenas with the first shot of the night.
Well, that didn't take long. Arenas, we talked about it earlier, has really not played much in his first 2 All-Star appearances. He's really determined to get some shots up tonight. I think he proved that there.
There's the lob, off the mark, but recovered, and Garnett puts it down.
Garnett's having a sensational season. We don't get to see him that often in Minnesota, leading the league in rebounding, has kept him in playoff contention.
Tim Duncan talking to Shaquille O'Neal as he backs in. Here's Shaq. And it's kept alive. Bosch of the Raptors.
6th NBA All-Star Game, live from Las Vegas, is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. By the new film, Shooter. Starts Friday, March 16th in theaters. Not yet rated. By Sprite with Lyman, proud sponsor of the NBA All-Star Weekend. Obey. And by T-Mobile. Stick together.
I didn't do anything.
See 24 full hours of Law & Orders that will keep you guessing.
He killed all those people? He didn't.
Watch Law & Order 24 hours starting next, right after the All-Star Game on TNT.
Back in Las Vegas, where Jason Kidd on the East team is not playing today because of an injury, but he's been in the news lately. A lot of trade rumors going on whether to decide whether the Nets are going to move their veteran point guard. Now, the Los Angeles Lakers have been trying to get him traded, but guys, I'm told that even though they haven't gotten much done with the Nets, they're trying to keep the talks alive. Now they're trying to involve the Portland Trail Blazers. The main piece would be reserve center Jamal McGlure, who would wind up going to Los Angeles and then be rerouted along with other players to New Jersey for Kidd. Now, there's no word on whether New Jersey is even interested in that kind of offer, although they could use a low post scorer like McGlure for at least a while and to have his expiring contract at season's end. That's what the Lakers are trying to do in order to get Jason Kidd into a gold uniform. Guys.
All right, Dave, as LeBron James puts it down on the reverse and off the court, Jason Kidd dealing with the much-publicized divorce proceedings, much publicized in the New York, New Jersey area.
You know, Marvy's done an amazing job, though, not letting that affect his play. I mean, he's played terrifically through all this distraction. I think you have to really admire him being able to do that.
And I'd be shocked if he was traded, really. I mean, he's still the guy who sells tickets in New Jersey. And, you know, there's been talk about Vince Carter possibly being dealt because he's in the last year of his deal, or at least he has an opt-out clause this summer. But it'll be interesting to see if New Jersey pulls the trigger on any deal.
And now some shuffling. Josh Howard of the Mavericks has come on as Amari Stoudemire's checked in. Tony Parker of San Antonio. Nice pass. Dwight Howard with the bucket and a foul. Talking about all the substitutions being made, Doug, the major concern of the coaches is the distribution of playing time.
Absolutely. We're going to see a lot of this young guy, Dwight Howard, because Shaq does not want to play a lot of minutes today. And, you know, Marv, that's one of the things you do. You sit down with your coaches. You say, guys, the one thing you have to help me with is getting the guys the playing time. So with about 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, you have the flexibility to play the guys who are playing the best. It gives you the best chance to win.
All right, for more of that, let's go to Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, Mike D'Antoni looked at his coaching staff, said, who wants to keep track of the minutes? Alvin Gentry said, I do. I got experience at it. Yes, he did that for Doug Collins back in '97. Glenn Rice got a hot hand. Instead of substituting going by Doug's chart, he kept Glenn Rice in the game. No truth to the matter that he wanted the coach's share of the money. $35,000 for the winning team, $15,000 for the losers.
Yes, a vivid memory for Doug. Stoudemire. Tip missed, and on a third attempt, the hat trick for Sean Marion.
Is there a quicker jumper in the NBA? I mean, down and then back up again.
Chauncey Billups of the Pistons on the floor for the first time. This is Dwight Howard of Orlando. He thought he was going to face some resistance.
And you see, he still has some work to do on his post game. I think he's still so young as Carmelo drains the 20-footer, but Howard's just going to get better and better. What's amazing to me is to watch him next to Amari Stoudemire. He is significantly bigger, especially in the upper body, than Amari.
Well, kicked around by LeBron James. Here comes Parker. Nice lead. Anthony was blocked. Played by Josh Howard. And it's tipped.
Like that was Jermaine O'Neal tipping the ball back into his own basket by accident.
Hesitation on the announcement as to who gets credit for the bucket. Apparently it's Stoudemire, the closest to that tip, and it was Jermaine O'Neal doing it, as they say in soccer, on his own goal.
And that's the one where usually all five guys are running to the other end, holding up their hand like, that was me, that was my tip, I got it.
Foul on Josh Howard. Here's LeBron James, a rare free throw appearance here in All-Star play.
But Jermaine O'Neal has inside position. You're going to see him being pushed out of the play, and he goes up with that left hand and tips it in. Actually, you know, Steve, he actually is better around the basket with his left hand as an offensive player. That time, as Marv said, he tipped it into the wrong goal.
LeBron James shooting just under 70% at the line during the regular season. West now up by 3 points. Tony Parker. Now at the point, here's Amari Stoudemire. Amari Stoudemire has come a long way to make it to the All-Star game. Back strong from the microfracture knee surgery. Played on only 3 games last season. Here is Jermaine O'Neal going last. But he established a goal that he wanted to come all the way back and make it as an All-Star.
I saw him in October play in a preseason game, and I had read that comment that he wanted to be an All-Star. I thought there was no chance. I mean, he just looked like he was so far away from being an effective player, but made a remarkable recovery.
Oh, off the glass, attempted for LeBron, who was not able to handle it. Here is Josh Howard. Well, we've seen a few of those in recent All-Star play.
Yeah, well, Tracy McGrady's done it a couple times. Vince Carter, we've seen in the past do that play.
West up by 5, just under 4 left in the first quarter. Here's James for 3. It's an air ball. So the ball back to the West. And now LeBron will take a seat. I have a feeling he had the thought he was going to be yanked momentarily, so get that last shot up.
As a player, you know that, Mark. You look over, you see the sub, say, I got to get one more up here before I sit down.
Rip Hamilton of the Pistons has come on for James. That's a 3 attempted by Howard, kept alive. Carmelo Anthony averaging better than 30 points a game, leading the NBA in scoring. He was a late add due to an injury.
Well, he would have been a lock had he not been suspended by the NBA after Howard gets the follow off the Billups miss. But, you know, you're leading the league in scoring. You're playing out of your mind, and then all of a sudden it's suspension, and then you go from a lock to not even on the roster. I'm happy for Carmelo that he got this second chance.
Stoudemire twisting his way inside. Amari Stoudemire with 6 points. West up by 7. Phillips and Hamilton. It's an all-Piston backcourt. Jermaine O'Neal is up front with Vince Carter of the Nets and Dwight Howard of the Orlando Magic. Howard with the rebound. Howard puts it down.
That guy's an amazing offensive rebounder. Marv, when he gets a little finesse in the post and gets a couple moves, he's going to be an unstoppable player in there.
Averaging just under 12 rebounds per game. Here's Stoudemire. Yes! And the foul. So Stoudemire will head to the line, but first a timeout has been called.
Well, Amari Stoudemire, this is what he does for Phoenix. He runs the floor and finishes nicely at the basket.
Oh, LeBron James not able to convert on a self-pass off the glass. The always impressive off-the-backboard self-pass dunk has been accomplished 3 times in recent All-Star Game history. Now, the first time, 2002, Tracy McGrady performed the trick in Philadelphia. And then Tracy did it a second time during the 2004 game in LA. And you may recall 2005 in Denver, Vince Carter executed the most impressive of the 3 as he threw it, caught it, and dunked it all with one hand. And guys, tonight, a bit of a different story.
Well, Marv, just to give you a little idea of the pace of this game, there's the try by LeBron James and almost got hurt there. I think Amari didn't know what he was trying to do and could not get out of his way. But Marv, the pace of the game, 55 shots taken in the first 9 minutes and 22 seconds. That's 1 shot every 10 seconds. That's 3 behind what Mike D'Antoni practices. He likes to get a shot up every 7 seconds into the shot clock.
Well, Amari Stoudemire's got to know, you got to play along in this game. If they're going to throw the ball off the board, just get out of the way. Let him go.
But for Mike D'Antoni, this is like perfect basketball. Here's the alley-oop throw. Caught it, but no one on Dwight Howard. And the West now leads 31-25. Tony Parker, Carmelo Anthony are at the guards. Amari Stoudemire up front, Dirk Nowitzki. Here is Parker. And Hamilton comes away with it. Hamilton with the lead. O'Neal had it knocked away. And as Stoudemire starts out, we get a whistle.
Foul number 32.
Very few whistles in this first quarter. And there's Mehmet Okur of the Utah Jazz checking in for the first time. Foul was called on Hamilton.
How about Okur this year? How many big shots has he hit? Reminds me a little bit of Carmelo Anthony last season. He had about 8 or 9 game-winning or game-time jumpers. Seems like Okur's doing the same thing.
4 this year in the last 40 seconds to win games.
4 in the last
40 seconds to win a game.
Games. Glad you had that number right in your head, Doug. That's good stuff. I mean, the computer up there.
Parker, and that outside shot has really improved with Tony Parker.
Put a lot of work into it. And Spurs hired Chip England, shooting coach, to work with him specifically. And the other thing he's done is he's improved his shot selection. Doesn't really settle for long threes anymore. In fact, barely ever shoots three-pointers.
Anthony backing up to the position that he wanted.
It's great to see Carmelo Anthony, who was having such a great year. He made a huge mistake in New York, let his team down, was suspended for 15 games. But you know what? The commissioner picked him, and I think that was a wonderful gesture because he should be here.
Carter spinning his way in and then able to recover. Chauncey Billups on the other side on the recovery of the miss by Carter. Here's the lead for Anthony. West opening up a 10-point lead. And this time Carter spins and connects.
I wish I could do that just one time. Just once. Forget about as many times. Just once.
You're not alone, Doug. Trust me.
Yeah.
Here is Ray Allen, who just came on. Rebounded by Howard. Hamilton on the handoff from O'Neal. Rip Hamilton having another outstanding season, averaging 22 a game in his second straight All-Star appearance. Last year, 4 members of the Pistons came off the bench. In fact, came off at the same time. Here is Parker. And it was just a second on the clock, and now time has run out in this first quarter. So the West with a 39-31 lead after one. Amari Stoudemire, 9 points to lead the way. Dwight Howard has 8. We'll be back to Las Vegas in a moment.
Now I can't wait till we get to Vegas, and I can't wait till we get to Vegas, and I can't wait to kick it like the players. Our money, we're thinking it's a brand new gate. It's gotta go out of town to escape the haters. Come on, it's a big deal, so expect the patience.
Yes, this is certainly the entertainment capital of the world as we welcome you back to Las Vegas, Nevada. And we welcome the men and women in service watching around the world on the American Forces Network. Our thoughts are with you. Ready to resume here in the second quarter. Look at Eddie Jordan, head coach of the East, and has led the Wizards to a record of 29-21. That's third in the Eastern Conference. Eddie in his 4th season as the head coach of the Wizards, longtime assistant with the Nets and the Sacramento Kings. Here is Ray Allen for 3. One of the great pure shooters in the history of the game, Ray Allen of the Seattle Sonics.
You know, Marv, if teams are ever going to run plays today, it'll be after timeout situations. That was a play set up specifically to get Ray Allen a 3 in the opposite corner.
And as you see, the West setting a record for most field goal attempts in a quarter. An all-star game record as they attempted 39. Carter turns it over.
Well, to put that in perspective, most NBA teams average about 78 or 80 field goal attempts in a game, so they're on pace to get that by halftime.
19 of 39, shot well, just under 49%. Here's Hamilton. While the East at 14 of 31 in the first quarter, 45% from the field.
Now, Rip Hamilton and Chauncey Billups, 2 great players for the Detroit Pistons. Here's Ray Allen unloading another 3, but they say every day they get reminded about greatness when they look up at the banners and say Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas. That keeps driving them to be better players every day.
Shaquille O'Neal is back going at Memento Core. Rebounded by Nowitzki. And here is McGrady for 3. Tracy McGrady of the Houston Rockets in his 7th All-Star game. How about the Rockets? 33-19, 5th best record in the NBA. Jeff Van Gundy has done a terrific job with a team that has played, for the most part, without Yao Ming.
17-8 without Yao, and McGrady's been the difference. I mean, he's the one guy on that team who can really create a shot, create offense for his teammates. Look at what a remarkable season it's been. The last 2 years, they've fallen apart without those guys.
Oh, there you have it. Off the backcourt, you knew it's going to happen at least once. Phillips with the setup for Carter. The West up 48-35. Nowitzki from downtown.
Look at the 3-point shooting the West has now. Okur, McGrady, Nowitzki, Allen, and who is that though? Josh Howard over there. All guys can make 3-pointers, so they're going to space the floor and let it fly.
And that's what Mike D'Antoni likes to do anyway. I mean, that's what his Suns teams do in the regular season. So Mike obviously very comfortable with this lineup.
And the West 4 of 5 from three-point land in this second quarter. The foul is called on Vince Carter. National television coverage of the NBA continues Wednesday on ESPN. It'll be the Heat and the Rockets starting at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Saturday, February 24th on NBA TV, it's the Nuggets and the Mavericks. And then next Sunday on ABC, Bulls and Pistons, followed by the Cavaliers and the Heat, with coverage starting at 12:30 in the East.
My favorite time of year after the All-Star game, you can see teams starting to see the finish line. And I'm looking forward to seeing the Miami Heat. All season long, they've said we're going to pick it up when we get everybody healthy. A lot of teams to watch sprinting into the finish for playoff positioning.
And Caron Butler now has checked in for the first time, making his All-Star debut. He has had an outstanding season with the Wizards. Butler with the shot, rebounded by Howard. And here comes the West. Oh, that's intended for Allen. Miscommunication, the ball back to the East.
Well, remember, without Nash, there's not really a point guard on the floor. So most of these guys used to getting out, running lanes. They're not the ones making the pass. They're usually the ones receiving the pass.
West going with a combination of McGrady and Allen handling the ball without a true point guard. O'Neal, missed the stuff. Gets it right back. Well, Rip Hamilton with an unselfish move.
Wise move there. He saw Shaq's eyes got real big, and he said, "Give it back to me." And Rip did the smart thing.
For Shaq, that is his first field goal, 1 of 6 from the floor.
Well, I don't know if you saw it. Then he planted a kiss on Tracy McGrady, kind of Dick Pavetta style, as he ran back.
Here's Okor and a foul. Mehmet Okor will head to the line, but first a timeout is called. Foul is called on O'Neal. Here's that play a moment ago as Shaq comes down, makes very close contact with Tracy McGrady. Well, earlier tonight, the NBA paid tribute to the late Red Auerbach. Pretty good lineup on the floor, left to right, as we saw just a moment ago. JoJo White, along with Satch Sanders, as Bill Russell, Casey Jones, Bill Walton. It's Red Auerbach's daughter, Randy. Red Auerbach won 9 NBA championships as head coach of the Boston Celtics.
In 1976 at the All-Star game in Philadelphia, Marv, it was my first All-Star game, and I actually taped 2 red-on-round balls before the game. It was such a great honor to just be a part of that. He was an amazing man.
You were the player involved. I used to love watching those. CBS was doing the games at the time. And he would just boss you guys around.
Oh, yeah.
How I enjoyed that. LeBron James with the stuff. He'd say, Collins, get over here. He would go, Russell, you get over here.
That's exactly.
That was back when they had the old horse games, too, between NBA players at halftime of the telecast. That was great stuff.
All right, here's Nowitzki. Well, Dirk Nowitzki got the step. That's his second bucket. 54-39, the West with the big lead. Ron James back on the floor, as is Gilbert Arenas. The lead for Dwayne Wade, but he slipped, lost his balance. Now McGrady for Marion.
Is the Matrix, Sean Marion.
The East with Gilbert Arenas, Dwayne Wade on the backcourt, Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, and Caron Butler on the front line. Arenas is off, and they let it carry out of bounds. Let's go to David Aldridge with Vince Carter. David.
Guys, Vince Carter, another year, another All-Star game for you. I guess these never get old.
They never get old. You go to a new city for the All-Star game, new guys. Big fun every time. It's always something new every year.
There's somebody this year that you've gotten to know a little bit that maybe you didn't know as well.
Probably Caron. To sit with him, we sit next to each other on the bus and in the locker room, just talking. So, it's one thing. It's great when you play against these guys and you enjoy the competition. But it's another thing when you come here and you get to know guys on a different level. And it's always fun to come here and have a good time and put our battles aside to try to win $35 grand.
All right, you can save me a lot of phone calls. What are you doing at the end of the year?
I'll be in Florida.
Yeah, I mean contractually.
Oh, we don't know yet. I don't know. We're gonna see. I know that's the big question, but we'll see.
Well, I guess we're gonna leave it there, Marv, for now.
Hi, Marv.
Vince giving a straight answer. We'll see.
Sounds like David's got more phone calls to make.
I also have the same feeling at the All-Star game, Doug. I got to know Steve much better last couple of days. Shaquille O'Neal with his second field goal. Garnett off the rebound. now here comes Arenas. Oh, whipping by Marion with the dribble and a foul. He's tripped up.
You know, Gilbert Arenas has had such a great first part of the season, and Steve, you highlighted him in the Open. He's starting to get a little tired at the end of the before the All-Star break, and I think that Eddie Jordan's a little concerned. All the extra shooting going in late at night, he might have to monitor that a little bit to get his legs back fresher for the finish.
It's interesting because you become obsessed with something. He likes to go in and shoot at nights at 3 o'clock in the morning. He just goes crazy, which has made him great, but may also hurt him, as you said.
Oh, Stoudemire with the follow. Beautiful look-away pass to set up that 3-on-1. And the West has opened up a 20-point lead. Here's Wade, O'Neal, another opportunity, and nearly took the backboard down, which we do not want to see. That is broken up. West maintains possession.
Kind of surprised to see Shaq back into this game. When Eddie Jordan talked about playing him for a quick stint at the beginning of each half. Maybe Shaq told him he wanted to go back in.
Well, he's a very proud guy. He didn't play very well his first stint. He was 0 for 3 in his first 4 or 5 minutes. I think he wants to, play well before he sits down.
There's Parker. Oh, Tony Parker again able to hit the jumper. Tony Parker, guys, come a long way after being drafted 28th by the Spurs back in 2001. That's a 3 for LeBron James.
Well, you think about the Spurs. They win the lottery and they get Tim Duncan. They get Tony Parker late in the first round. They get Manu Ginobili in the second round. They've done a wonderful job managing the cap. So they have 3 terrific players they built themselves around in a great cap situation.
5.5 remaining in this first half, and the West up by 17. Shaquille O'Neal on the follow and nearly took the rim with him.
In Motion of the 56th NBA All-Star Game, live from Las Vegas, is brought to you by Heineken Premium Light, Irresistible, and by PlayStation 3, Play Beyond.
Hey, watch how bad I cross Kobe up. I'm gonna yank him. Hey, we all get over here. Come here.
Yep. Man, Carrot Top a big dude, man. Yeah, look at him.
That's a Kobe Bryant move.
Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas.
All right, from Carrot Top to Tracy McGrady's fine Wayne Newton.
He plays exactly the same way in the regular season. I mean, he doesn't care about stats, always trying to empower his teammates, make them better. Unbelievable in the locker room. He's just an amazing player in person.
That's a 3. Joe Johnson in his 6th year out of Arkansas, first All-Star game. Selected to replace the injured Jason Kidd. Parker, and it's knocked out of bounds, so the ball back to the east. And now it's time for tonight's Toyota Moving Forward, talking about first-time All-Stars. A host of players are here for the first time. Carmelo Anthony, Carlos Boozer, Ron Butler, Dwight Howard, Joe Johnson, Mehmet Okur, Josh Howard have all moved forward to All-Star status. Half-minute left in this first half. O'Brien shoots the 3. I thought he was going to fire from half court for a moment. 2-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Not that this matters in this particular situation.
I was about to call out 5 for 4.
Right. Arenas gets it back. Final seconds. And here is Howard coming up short. Howard is fouled with 0.3 of a second left in the half.
You were speaking a while ago, Marv, about guys' first-time appearance in the All-Star game, and I can speak from personal appearance. The first time you come here, when you go back to your team, you go back with a different confidence and all. It's such a incredible experience, and I can tell you, you're never the same player. You just carry a different confidence about yourself.
So Dwight Howard at the line for 2 shots coming up on the T-Mobile halftime report. Live performances from Tony Braxton, Cirque du Soleil, and Christina Aguilera. And Ernie, Charles, and Kenny will have first half analysis. And I put Ernie, Charles, and Kenny in that same sentence with Cirque du Soleil. The entertainment that we're going to see at halftime.
It's halftime.
Well, LeBron James with 16 to lead the East, 12 of the 16 in the second quarter. Kobe Bryant, high point man for the West with 17, 11 of the 17 in the second quarter. Carmelo Anthony, 6 of 7 from the field on the night and has 12 points. Let's go to Craig Sager with Carmelo Anthony.
Well, they're spreading the minutes around, Melo, but you made the most of your 10 with 12 points. How would you describe your first All-Star experience?
It's just fun out here, man, to be out on the court with these guys. You know, I'm happy to be here. It's an honor for me to be here, and I'm just having fun.
Doug Collins is mentioning what making an All-Star team does to a player's confidence. We saw what it did for you being on part of USA. What does this mean?
It boosts my confidence up another notch. Now, hopefully I can carry this on to my regular season.
We've seen teams with big leads in All-Star games let them slip away. You guys are up by 20. What do you expect in the second half?
We want to keep it up. We want to open this game up, and we want to win. They won the last 2 years. We want to win this year.
All right, thanks a lot. The score at halftime is 79-59 in favor of the West. After a quick break, we'll return to the Thomas & Mack Center for the T-Mobile halftime report featuring live performances from Tony Braxton, Cirque du Soleil, and Christina Aguilera.
All right, T-Mobile halftime report after a very festive beginning to the halftime here at the All-Star Game, and we go right into the T-Mobile Chuck's Fave 5.
What's
your favorite
1?
days of the year?
What's number 1? You forgot? You said it. It's your Fave 5. No. Any day in Vegas.
That would be accurate. Here we are for the All-Star Game, and you get a look at New York, and you got the huge Dwight Howard jersey on Lady Liberty. And
can I say something to the blackjack dealers at Mandalay? Yeah, say something to them. Y'all know.
Okay.
I can't use that type of language right now. Y'all know.
Well, that is expected when you come to Vegas. What also is expected, a visit and an experience, I guess, with Kenny's buddy, Wayne Newton.
Oh, yes.
Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas! Viva! Viva Las Vegas! Yeah!
And that's how the night began. And then
That's my man right there.
You're exactly. Did you get a chance to meet him?
I did. You
did? So a lifelong dream.
And I met Mayor Goodman, too.
Very good. By the way, Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, Ernie Johnson, welcome. T-Mobile halftime report. You're watching the All-Star Game on TNT, and it's a 20-point game at the half. The Western Conference.
From Kobe Bryant. Josh Howard back to break it up.
That's exactly the lineup Mike D'Antoni wants. You just talked about it, Doug. And there's Sean Marion, even amongst this incredibly fast group of 5 players for the West, he's always the first one down the floor.
A minute gone by, third quarter. Dwight Howard starting at the center for Shaquille O'Neal, start of the game, and here's Howard rejected by Stoudemire. Howard again.
When he starts getting a little touch, here's a steal here by Wade quickly, so the West turn it over, and then he turn it right back again as Kobe Bryant gets a steal.
Bryant with the lob that sails into the crowd.
Looked like Sean Marion was going to steal that lob from Josh Howard. Nobody gets anything.
And Bosch able to beat the West down court. The West in the first half converted 35 field goals, 35 for 64. That is one shy of the spin move by Amari Stoudemire. 35 field goals made, one shy of the all-time All-Star Game record, also established in 1989 by the West. And Dwight Howard, the East, coming out very active in this third quarter. They're now down 85-65. Stoudemire.
If he makes that shot, the way he rolls to the basket and finishes, and when he can pick and pop and make those 15 to 17-foot jump shots.
It's a 3 by Arena. Stoudemire now 7 of 10, 15 points. Let's check in with David Aldridge. David?
Well, guys, this is a big weekend for Eddie Jordan, East coach. It's his first All-Star appearance as a head coach. His team is doing very well, leading the Southeast Division. But Eddie Jordan still doesn't really know that he belongs here. He told us before the game, he said, I'm not Pat Riley. I'm not Chuck Daly. I really don't know if I belong here. And it was an odd thing for a coach to say. Last night, while everybody else was out partying, Eddie Jordan said he was watching tape of the Minnesota game. That's their first opponent after the All-Star break. This is a guy who grew up in Southeast Washington, went to Carroll High School, a great city for basketball, and he really, I think, Doug, does belong here, and he's earned it this season.
No question about it. He's done a great job there. He's established a style of play that he likes to play. His team does it well. Eddie Jordan, well-deserved, and yes, you should be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the New Jersey
Las Vegas, my favorite city in the world. On the way to the game, let's take a ride down the fabulous strip in my new Jeep Wrangler Unlimited.
Here you go, Mr. Sager. Have fun at the game.
You got it.
What fine work by our own Craig Sager. As we continue with a check of the star-studded crowd here in Las Vegas, Jay-Z and Beyonce. Adam Sandler. Actor Chris Tucker. Gabrielle Union, along with Gabriela Solis, Eva Longoria, the fiancée of Tony Parker and Grammy Award winner Mary J. Blige. And Eva and Tony have set the date. Reportedly, here's Wade, the shot blocked from behind by McGrady. You will need your passport, Steve and Doug, for that wedding. And Sean Marion comes up with the loose ball. Amari Stoudemire again. He has 17 points.
You going to finish the story and tell us where the wedding's going to be?
I'm only passing on what I've read, that it will be out of the country.
Okay.
I know you, Steve, as a former teammate of Tony Parker, already received the save a date card.
Still hoping.
91-65, the West on top.
That's the Sean Marion Boris Diaw play. This time they run it out of a timeout with Kobe Bryant and Amari Stoudemire.
Another East turnover. Here comes Marion. And James, with no one in sight, is able to play that lob from Wade.
You know, last year, remember the Detroit Pistons, Flip Saunders put in his 4 guys, and they sort of made the little run to get the team back in the game. What are the East going to do today to get back in this game? I mean, it's a 28-point game right now.
When the 4 Pistons came on last season, it became a real basketball
game. Yes, it did.
Took away the schoolyard aspect. Arenas for Bosch. And, Bosch shows us his windmill.
Well, Mike D'Antoni loves this lineup that he has. You get the feeling that this is like his dream fivesome. Right here, you got all 5 guys, the ability to handle the ball, pass it, jump, shoot threes. Pretty impressive lineup.
And now the substitutions are coming on.
That's a great play, but the East has got to stop exchanging field goals. When you're down, you've got to start getting some defensive stops. And Sean Marion, Steve, you talked about it a while ago, no matter who's on the floor, he's going to find a way to get out ahead of the pack and get those easy dunks.
So Eddie Jordan sending on Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton, that all-Piston backcourt. And he has Teron Butler with Jermaine O'Neal and Vince Carter. Hamilton played by Allen. Hamilton able to swing inside.
That's one Husky schooling the other.
Carmelo Anthony. Mike D'Antonio's also made some changes. Stoudemire remaining on the floor, and he's on fire. That's 5 for 5 for Amari Stoudemire here in the third quarter. Overall, he's 10 of 13 for 21 points.
Got a beautiful stroke, and Doug, you talked about it earlier. I mean, the fact that he can make that shot when he's already so fast and the ability to get to the rim, almost impossible to guard the guy when he's knocking down this shot with consistency.
Well, sometimes when you go through an injury and you can't run and jump, you have to work on different phases of your game. We've seen guys before hurt their right hands and develop a left hand. Well, I think Amari spent a lot of time, just working on his release, shooting the basketball. And once you start trusting that in a game, then the growth of your game, it just keeps expanding.
Reminder, tune in this week to TNT for exclusive NBA coverage on a special Tuesday night. It's the Nuggets and the Spurs, followed by the Suns and the Clippers. Doug, I know you, Kevin, will be on hand Tuesday night in L.A. Coverage starting 8 o'clock Eastern time. Then on Thursday, another NBA doubleheader. The Bulls take on the Cavs in Game 1, followed by the Heat and the Mavericks. Coverage starting at 7. Some sparks have been flying between the Heat and the Mavericks after Dirk Nowitzki had said earlier in the year the Mavs gave away the NBA championship, and then Wayne Wade questioned Dirk's leadership in clutch situations. We'll be there for that one on Thursday night. Miami and Dallas in Dallas. Here's Allen on a quick release, and it's fielded by Carmelo Anthony.
Well, that whole dispute was eventually diffused by Wade. Remember, Mark Cuban actually wrote a blog that really ripped into Wade, and it looked like it was going to get out of hand, and then Wade just kind of laughed it off, and I don't think we'll hear much more of it.
As Carter is fouled, he will head to the line. There's Dirk. His Mavericks 44-9. Avery Johnson's team with the best record in the NBA. They have won their last 9 games.
The thing that impresses me about the Mavericks is they can beat you in a lot of different ways. They can beat you in a 120-point game, and then we saw the other night on TNT, they score 80-77. They can beat you in a defensive struggle. So this is a team that is playing with an incredible edge, and I think we're going to see a lot of Dirk Nowitzki in the fourth quarter. Mike D'Antoni said he's going to save him and let him play maybe the last 10 minutes of the fourth period.
And you look at the records in the Western Conference, and the first 5 teams in the West have the top 5 records in the entire NBA.
Well, keep in mind, too, you've got a lot of teams that are about to get healthy. Yao Ming coming back soon as Stoudemire swoops in, and this is the runner. But Yao Ming, you've got several Lakers ready to come back. Those West players
has taken over in this third quarter now. Has 23 points in all.
I did the first game of the year, saw the Lakers and Phoenix. There's no way in the world I could have dreamed that he could have played at this level this early after the way he struggled early in the season.
Butler coming up short. Stoudemire with 12 of his 23 here in the third. We still have nearly 5 minutes to play. Anthony. Back comes Hamilton. There's Carter with him. The lead for Carter too far. And it's Marion ahead of the field and shows us his version of the windmill. Timeout, says Eddie Jordan.
See, Rip Hamilton, it's not his game to throw those kind of lobs or whatever. He gets out of character when he does that. He's more coming off screens and making the simple play. But once again, the Matrix out on the break with a beautiful dunk, and the West running away right now, up 31.
Presentation of the 56th NBA All-Star Game, live from Las Vegas, is brought to you by Jeep. Legendary capability only in a Jeep 4x4. And by refreshingly smooth Bud Light, always worth it.
I didn't do anything.
See 24 full hours of Law & Orders that will keep you guessing.
He killed all those people? He didn't.
Watch Law & Order 24 hours starting next right after the All-Star Game on TNT.
It has been a strong performance for Sean Marion. 7 of 11, 14 points for the 8-year man out of UNLV. Sean Marion spent 1 season at UNLV after transferring from Vincennes University Junior College in Indiana. Averaged just under 19 a game, 9 rebounds, playing his home games here at the Thomas & Mack Center. Then was drafted 9th overall in the 99 draft by the Phoenix Suns. And Doug, you mentioned the nickname The Matrix, name coined by our own Kenny Smith. Kenny's still looking for what he considers to be a proper consideration.
And wears number 31 in honor of Reggie Miller. So a lot of TNT connections with Sean Marion.
Here's Carter on a fadeaway. Chased down by Parker. And the ball is deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Parker. Let's go to Craig.
Well, Marv, you're talking about Tony Parker being engaged to Eva Longoria. I just talked to her a little while ago. She goes, well, I sent Marv an invitation. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten it yet. By the way, the wedding is in France in July.
Now I was concerned about Steve with getting to save the date. I've already forwarded my answer. Hamilton now with 8 points.
You told me you didn't know where the wedding was. You couldn't have answered.
Well, it's actually, I can't reveal where it is. That's another three for Ray Allen, his third of the night.
I think he has the most beautiful shot in the NBA. He can shoot off the move, off the dribble. He can shoot contested, standing still. He's a total package to me as a shooter.
And a nice move by Billups off the hesitation. It has been all West, though. The East had the lead only once. Back in the first quarter, they led 15-14. Allen again trying from downtown. Here's Billups pulling it up. That would have been a two. Hamilton. Duncan with the rebound. Anthony. Carmelo Anthony putting the speed on. He has 16 points.
Well, we've already seen 2 timeouts in this quarter from Eddie Jordan. Very rare in an all-star game for a coach to call a timeout, but he's been upset with his defense. That kind of reminds me last week. Remember, he was so upset with his team, the Wizards, regarding their defense. Then he had that exchange with Gilbert Arenas. So a lot of drama in Washington the last couple of weeks.
Yes, they were talking defensive philosophy as a players-only meeting, and then a meeting between Arenas and Jordan. And Eddie says now that all's been cleared up. There's Allen. 110-80. The West on top. O'Neal, yes. Jermaine O'Neal of the Indiana Pacers. Playing through a sore right knee. Made the All-Star team last year, but sat out due to injury. But including that, it's a three again for Allen. 6 All-Star appearance for Jermaine O'Neal. Allen has 12 points. He's hit 4 from beyond the arc.
What a tough year it's been for Seattle. Ray Allen missed 9 games with the foot injury. Rashard Lewis, I think 21 or 22 games. It's been a tough year up there. So I'm sure for Ray Allen to be recognized as an all-star here, even as a replacement for one of the injured players, probably one of the funner moments he's had playing basketball this season.
For Ray, his 5th year as a member of the Sonics after 6 seasons with Milwaukee. We touched on it earlier. Has one of the game's quickest releases. Particularly quick with that catch and shoot.
Well, you know, Steve, you're the shooter or whatever, but to me, there's no weakness in him. You know, he can shoot off the move, he can shoot contested, and I love to watch him play. It's so effortless.
Well, and what you really see is in late game situations, he can create at the three-point line and pull up and shoot that three-pointer. And his ball handling skills are so much better than the average spot-up shooter. And that's what separates him, I think.
I just heard the cry of hibachi, which tells me we want to go to David Aldridge and Gilbert Arenas. David?
Gilbert, I suspect there was an MVP kind of thought to you today going in. You're down 31 going into the fourth quarter. How are you going to get that MVP?
Ooh, that's less than likely. We had good shots early, but we didn't make anything, and they got a lot of fast break. Most likely it's going to be somebody on that West team. So, we'll see who finishes off with it.
His first All-Star appearance for Caron Butler, your Wizards teammate. First appearance for Eddie Jordan as the head coach. What has the weekend been like for you three?
It's been great. We had a time to enjoy ourselves out here. It was more about, family than anything. So I know, Caron's here, celebrating, Eddie's celebrating, I'm celebrating. So, hopefully Caron can make a layup out here, so he can at least go home with 2 points.
All right, you're going into the second half of the season in first place in your division. What's the state of the team right now?
No, Miami's right behind us. They're heating up right now. Orlando's, right around the corner. So we have to get on our high horse, separate, so we can win our division.
You could do something about Orlando by stepping on Dwight's foot right now.
I don't think that worked.
I'm not advocating violence or anything, Marv.
All right, David. Karan Butler incidentally 0 for 6 from the field. Gilbert Arenas referring to Karan perhaps making a layup somewhere along the way.
Well, he knows that feeling. He was 0 for 4 last year, so he's been there, done that. But, Mark, to follow up on that report, Washington 5 games ahead in the loss column on the Miami Heat. Miami with 26 losses, Washington with 21. They play each other 3 times in the second part of the season, so it'll be interesting if Miami can catch Washington.
Phillips for Carter. Went up with the left hand and now handled by Anthony. The West with 51 field goals. They have 40 assists on the 51. That's number 52 as Tony Parker is able to take it the distance.
Start getting back to that's the standings in that Southeast Division. What makes that most interesting, I think, is that Vince Carter with the hook shot. Miami, if they don't win the division, they're going to have a low seed, and you could potentially see a Detroit-Miami matchup early in the playoffs. And most people feel those are the 2 best teams in the conference.
A little bit like last year, Dallas and San Antonio in the semifinals.
Shane O'Neal from Vince Carter. Coming about 15 seconds to play in this third quarter. Nowitzki.
Is he the best big shooter ever?
I can't think of anybody who could compare. I mean, at that size, there have been a lot of great shooters at 6'8", 6'9", Larry Bird, Rick Barry,
Bob McAdoo,
Eddie Johnson. But 6'11", 7 feet? I don't think so.
So that's the end of the third. It's the West 119, the East 88. We'll be back here in Las Vegas in a moment.
For much of my life, that's it.
Back in Las Vegas, DirecTV Skyview Cam, the best picture on TV, and we are seeing it being utilized right here as we come to Craig Sager and Tony Parker. Craig?
Tony, 119 points in 3 quarters. Talk a little bit about the style, and are you guys running any plays at all?
We're playing Phoenix style. Push it up and try to score as much points as we can.
Phoenix style, when you go back to San Antonio, you can try to coach.
Then we go back to the half court. Then we go back to the half court. We'll slow it down. But for now, we'll try to score a lot of points.
Sounds like you lost your voice. You've been hanging out with Charles Barkley at night?
I've been partying too much with Charles Barkley. I have no more voice.
All right, we mentioned the upcoming wedding. Tell us how excited you are about getting married to Eva.
Very exciting. Plane's doing great, and actually Eva's doing everything. I'm just going to show up and say yes.
Okay, Marv said he's going to show up too.
No, he's not invited. No.
Oh, false information. That's why he didn't know where it was. Back to you, Marv.
Wait a second. Craig is the person who said I was invited. I am really hurt now the way he said it, though.
Marv, I did my best. I asked him if you could come.
That was a rejection. Yes. Fourth quarter is underway. The West is up 119-91. Here is Kevin Garnett. And the West adds to the lead. The most lopsided victory in All-Star play, 1966. The East won by 43 games in the West, 43 points, and the West could be headed in that direction. LeBron James with a 3. He now has 21. McGrady to the crossover. Rebounded by O'Neal.
That was kind of a Manu Ginobili move, like a crossover with the same hand back and forth. Interesting move from McGrady.
Mehmet Okur. That's his first field goal in his first All-Star game.
Or you talk about the Utah Jazz, Okur, Darren Williams having a terrific year at the point guard position, Carlos Boozer, who was an all-star. So the revitalization of that Utah Jazz team looks like they're going to be in the playoffs. And how often we saw Stockton and Malone here for all those so many years.
Jazz at 35-17. They've won their last 6 games. One of the NBA's surprise teams right from the start.
And I don't think anybody plays harder. I mean, Jerry Sloan puts an imprint on his team every season. The hard cuts, the screens, and they do it every single night. It's amazing.
Garnett turned back by O'Neal. And the West maintains possession.
Well, you know, the interesting thing about the philosophy of the Phoenix Suns is don't foul. We want to keep the game moving. And for the Utah Jazz, if you go in there, they're going to foul you hard. I mean, you're going to take hard, tough fouls.
Garnett to the step back. 7 points for Kevin Garnett.
We've been talking about Dirk Nowitzki and the shooting touch of a big man. Kevin Garnett possesses one of the best strokes of any big man ever.
O'Neal and Shaq with the follow. He has 10.
And Kevin Garnett has worked so hard on his shot. I remember when he was rookie, his shot was so flat, and he really worked on lifting that shot and worked a lot with Kevin McHale. There's another great big man shooter. We got these big guys out here stepping out on the floor, putting on a clinic.
Meadow Core, excellent on the pick and pop as a member of the Jazz. Good passer, handles the ball well for a big guy at 6'11", 260 pounds. Nice look away from LeBron James to Dwayne Wade. West up by 27 points. Marion stepping into three-point territory.
Here we go, the Diesel. We knew we'd break it out here before long.
Put between the legs. The Meadow Core enjoying it and looks to finish it off, but came up short. Marion. So Sean Marion able to score to give the West a 29-point lead.
Every big man wants to be a guard, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that is kicked out of bounds. Timeout. No indication as to whether it was McGrady or Wade, but a timeout has been called.
Magic O'Neal up on the top of the circle area. Look at it. The crossover, the inside out, and then Carmelo rolling over with laughter.
Gooseneck. That was a cherry bomb.
I dare you. Hey, watch out.
You were surprised on that one, the one I threw to you, out of you?
No, I just can't jump. It's as simple as that, all right? Kissed on the lips. Oh, yeah, man. Barbara and Bavetta kissed on the lips? Yeah. Show me the footage. I don't believe that one. Where you been?
Last night, a very happy ending for Charles Barkley after winning his match race with referee Dick Bavetta.
It might have been happier had he not been smooched on the lips.
Wade goes glass. And the West now leads 129-104. Marv Albert, Steve Kerr, Doug Collins, Craig Sager, David Aldridge working the sidelines. We have 7:40 remaining.
I interact with them.
Nobody has more on their shoulders than you do during the regular season. You got the Minnesota Timberwolves in the playoff hunt right now. What do you expect in the second half of the year?
You know what? We got to come out. We got to come out second half and be ready, man. We know that this is our push right here. We got to make our push immediately. I mean, I think we started in Washington, the back-to-back with Charlotte. Those are going to be two big games for us.
Congratulations, another All-Star appearance. We always like to see it.
Let me ask you something. What you got on tonight? What's this?
Brioni and Pucci.
Pucci? Pronounce what?
Pucci.
Thank you, Mark. Kevin Garnett always attacking Craig Sager. Parker putting it up for Stoudemire. Well, just a moment ago, we had a series of Elvis impersonators stuffing and It's Gilbert Arenas who joined the line, and that had to get the Washington coaching staff crazy.
That's why he's Gilbert. That's the beauty of his game, and that's why you also sometimes just shake your head.
It's a timeout.
It's been all Western Conference. They are up 143 to 123, just under 3 minutes to play in this, the 56th NBA All-Star Game. Just under 3 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. The West with a 20-point lead. A host of most valuable player candidates, I would think, led by Kobe Bryant. Kobe with 29 points, 6 assists. You see Amari Stoudemire, 11 of 15, 23 points, 7 rebounds. Carmelo Anthony, Sean Marion also in that mix.
I agree, Doug. You said it from the start, and Kobe's gone out and earned it. He's done a little bit of everything, but he's been the best player on the floor tonight.
The East, led by LeBron James, was 28 points, and it's going to be a backcourt violation. LeBron, 11 of 19 for his 28 points. The West has already set an assist record with 49. The record for most points in an All-Star game, 155. The West did it in 2003, but took double overtime. That was a game played in Atlanta. Stoudemire kept away momentarily by Bosch and then able to power it in. He has 20 points. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining. There's Stoudemire ahead of the field. 147-123. Bosch draws the foul, and we'll send it over to Craig.
Well, Ray Allen in his 7th All-Star game, but enjoying this one as many as any. I saw where you took your shoe off when Coach told you were done for the night. Collecting autographs. Talk about it.
Well, in the back, it's somewhat of a madhouse, so I figure I get started early, make sure I get all these guys to sign this.
You have all the West teammates there. If you were choosing MVP, which autograph there would you think would win this award?
Let me see. I didn't sign it yet.
You better go back in if you're going to win the award.
Hey, I'll go with this one right here.
Oh, here.
Right there. I'm coming. See,
now Sean Marion wants his too.
It gets real contagious in the locker room, so it's good to start right now. Because you see a lot of shoes coming out of the locker room, a lot of jerseys. So I know a lot of guys will be out. Sometimes you miss players, so it's good to get them while they're on the floor now.
All right, thanks a lot. Thank you, Mark.
All right, Craig, here is Stoudemire, and it's put down by Anthony.
Mark, would you sign my wingtip before we take off?
I'd be so honored.
I've already done it, Marv, so I got him during that timeout.
All right, here's Johnson. Bosch.
How about talking about the Toronto Raptors a little bit? How good have they been this year? I mean, you got to talk about Sam Mitchell as a possible Coach of the Year candidate. The job that they've done, they could win that Atlantic Division here. That would be quite a feat for that team.
Record of 29-24, and they have won 8 of their last 10 games. Chris Bosch, certainly the cornerstone of the vastly improved Raptors franchise.
Now, Brian Colangelo's done a nice job with that team. He and Sam Mitchell, the Bargnani, the rookies, done a good job. How about Calderon and Garbajosa to the international players, Anthony Parker.
And the trade for TJ Ford is a big move, too, to add a point guard to the mix. And I think they're not just a team that's going to make the playoffs. I think they could do some damage. They've got a pretty nice balanced team.
An alley-oop to an uncontested Amari Stoudemire, thrown by Tony Parker.
And Marv, the funny thing, he's looking over at Duncan because he tried to do one to Duncan before, and Duncan says, I can't jump.
See 68 field goals made tonight by the West, another all-star record. It's been a record-breaking night for the Western Conference. 52 assists. That is an all-star record. Want to get close to the stars in Vegas? Log on to NBA.com for TNT Overtime Courtside. which will give you a live all-access pass to every event at 2007 All-Star in Las Vegas. TNT Overtime is on all the time at NBA.com. 153, the East 132. Kobe Bryant taking MVP honors. Coming up next on TNT on the East Coast, don't miss a 24-hour marathon of Law & Order. And on the West Coast, it's Rush Hour 2. So for David Aldridge, Craig Sager, Doug Collins, Steve Kerr, and our entire crew, I'm Marv Albert saying goodnight from Las Vegas. You're watching TNT, your home of the 2007 NBA playoffs and the Eastern Conference Finals.